Alright, Scorpio, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot spread. These are general messages. If it doesn't resonate with you this week, come back next week. Maybe I can help you then. These are self-love readings designed for spirit to showcase areas where, we might be consciously or subconsciously letting ourselves down. Or it could showcase us areas where we need to be more authentic with ourselves. I do a 6-card spread, and the 7th card I do is Spirit Message. I shuffled a little bit before we got started. I'll do one more just for funsies, Scorpio, and then we'll see where you're at. Alrighty, Daddy. In this first position, Scorpio, is going to be how you feel. This second position is going to be something that Spirit wants you to prioritize. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to it. On the third position, it's going to be something that you consciously or maybe unconsciously don't know has started to slip. Spirit is saying, hey, pick that up. Focus on that more. It's important. In this fourth position is going to be something that Spirit wants you to acknowledge to be more authentic with yourself. Self-love is about self-acceptance, and it's really hard to accept parts of ourselves that we refuse to acknowledge. And the fifth position is going to be something that Spirit wants you to let go of. In the sixth position, it's going to be something Spirit wants you to acknowledge. Maybe it's something you know and Spirit really wants you to focus on. Maybe it's something you're not aware of yet. In the seventh position, like I said, is Spirit Message. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what's up with you. Scorpio, you are feeling like the King of Cups, which is basically our energy, right? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that's us. So you're the King of Cups. The King of Cups to me is always the most emotionally stable. The King of Swords is very calm. I mean, he could, but he's real calm. The King of Cups is emotionally stable, emotionally mature. It's very good, grounded energy. He's a man who utilized his feminine energy to go inside and to decide for himself what he wanted. He listened to his heart. How many men do you know that do that? I hope you are one of them. Or just a person who listens to their heart. He listened to his heart, realized what he wanted, and then he went after it. And not only did he go after it, but he knew what he wanted so much. He believed in it so much that he built a kingdom around it. That's the King of Swords. Or I'm sorry, that's King of Cups. So Scorpio, right now I feel strongly that you are a person who knows what's in your heart. And you have probably started to go after it. You could be chasing it now, or you could be in the beginnings of building your kingdom, but you are someone who knows what's in your heart. And I love that. In this second position, something that Spirit wants you to prioritize with all of this emotional maturity that you seem to have, Scorpio, is this Prince of Wands. The Prince of Wands is basically like the Knight of Wands. And you see right here, he's pulled by this lion, right? Now, lions, they represent strength. That's super true. But they also represent pride. They represent a sense of regalness, right? And ambition. And passion. I mean, if you look right here, we have all the fire anyway, so it's passion already. The universe is saying what they want you to prioritize is movement towards passion. So it's entirely possible that right now, Scorpio, you are that King of Heart or the King of Cups, and you know what's in your heart, and you are wanting to build your kingdom to establish or to have a place for what's in your heart. And that's great. I love that. Maybe, Scorpio, you were somebody who really loves dogs, really loves dogs, but growing up you weren't allowed to have dogs. Your parents said no. So your entire life you know that dogs are the only thing in your heart. They're what you want. And universe is saying, well, now if you're grown and you have this passion, go get yourself some dogs, buy some acreage, 73 acres, and go just buck wild. Just get all the dogs you could possibly want. I'll come to your dog farm, Scorpio. That's probably not what's in these cards, but I just wanted to give it an example. Unless you, me, dog park, dog sanctuary, hit me up, Scorpio. Wow, this is amazing. In the area that universe wants you to focus on, because maybe you've put it on the back burner, right? Like it's just, we're just not focusing on it as much. And the universe is like, that thing, yeah, get that one. Get that one, bring it back up here, look at it more heavily. We have the King of Swords in this position. So now you are 2 kings. Wow. What are you up to, Scorpio? That's pretty exciting. Let's see. To prioritize or to bring this back forward, the King of Swords, like I said, he's an incredibly calm person. He does all of his reasoning inside. He probably has a very stoic face. He's probably somebody that, people come to when they want advice, but not like the advice when they really want to be heard, right? These are people who are definitely sure. I would think like, oh my God, like engineers, like they know what they need to do. They just need like a little bit of like reassurance, right? They're just like, I think I put this over here, but I'm not sure. They're right. Of course they're right. They're engineers. And then you're just like, yes, that's the one. You go ahead right there. And they're like, right here. And you're like, right there. And they're like, okay, right here. And like, they know they do. They just need a little bit of reassurance. So the King of Swords is somebody who people would go to for advice if they already knew what they wanted. And then he would definitely be the one to help them go after it. He's the king of ideas and he's the king of movement. In the traditional tarot deck, he is not moving. However, he has the power and the maturity to move towards what he wants. So the universe is saying right now is, Scorpio, you know what's in your heart. You have the passion. Plan it out. Make a plan. The King of Swords is someone who would plan things out. Okay, so I had the analogy yesterday. If the King of Swords is after the Queen of Swords, she was locked in a tower where the dragon was like Shrek, you know? Like the dragon was guarding her. And the King of Swords knows, well, first to get to the Queen, I have to go through this boiling lake of lava. He comes up with a plan for that. And then I have to cross this bridge that has trolls underneath of it. And he has a plan for that. And then when he gets to the castle, he still has to kill the dragon. He has a plan for that. You are a person who knows what's in your heart. You have all this passion. Now all you need is a plan. I like this, Scorpio. Something's going to work out. I'm thinking about water. Us. We have persistence. And the thing about persistence is that it can drown or drill down like anything. Have you ever seen like a river? Have you ever seen like a pond or a lake? Water has the way to just like, just continue to put pressure on things until it actually changes the shape of the environment around it. And Scorpio, you totally have that ability. If you continue with this, if you continue on towards whatever it is that you want, you're going to get it because you have persistence as a water sign. What's wrong, Scorpio? There's all this loving energy here, this movement, but what the universe is saying they want you to acknowledge is some kind of sorrow. There's this 3 of Cups here. Now, I don't see this in the spread, Scorpio, but if there is something that you're going through, I would like to just acknowledge really quickly how you can be a role model for other people around you by acknowledging the way that you feel. Scorpios, like you get like a bad rap for being like crazy. I don't really know. But a lot of the time what happens is people have this misconception about the people around them. Because we only tend to show parts of who we are. So I tend to show off this like immature, like fun kind of like side, right? And I really like that. You would never be able to guess my age. You can put a guess in the comment box if you want to. But people tend to just see that aspect of me. And I know for a fact that those are not the people that I want to be in my inner circle. Because if you're in my inner circle, you know that I suffer with anxiety and depression and PTSD, and that I have lots of sleepless nights, and that I'm not always good around other people. I'm so much fun. But when I showcase those sides of me, people who don't necessarily know about them, it really does allow me to build common ground with people that I'm close to. When I talk about my trauma, not everyone is comfortable with it. But when I talk about trauma with the people that I'm close to, all it does is make us closer because we've been through the same things. And even if we haven't been through the same things, their love for me allows them to see how I went through this, and now I'm just this, and this is different, and that's good, and that's growth. So even if they can't understand what we've been through, Scorpio, even if they don't understand our sorrow, they get to see us and how we deal with those things. And that makes us stronger. And it can help make them stronger too. Not everyone goes through the same things, but you'd be surprised how many people out there have actually been through trauma. Actually, the thing that surprises me the most is that there's people who haven't been through trauma. You know that there's not even well adjusted, because that would mean they would have to have adjusted to like whatever. There are people out there who are just like secure attachment styles, like they get into healthy relationships, they have positive self-concepts, you know, they don't like, I don't know, there's just regular people out there. And that's weird to me. That's news, okay? But when we showcase the things we've been through, we're just allowing other people to also acknowledge what they've been through. And you cannot move on from what you can't acknowledge. So if there is sorrow in your heart, Scorpio, you know, acknowledge that. Don't just let it stay inside and eat at you. Let it out. Tell people, you know what, something bad happened and it sucked, but I can move on from that. You are strong. And in your strength, you help other people find their strength. That's so sweet, Scorpio. You're so sweet. So, in the position of something that Spirit wants you to let go of, we have this devil energy. This is so interesting because I saw all of this movement and all of this like certainty up here, and down here and doesn't feel as certain. If you look at these two people here, Scorpio, yeah, they're caught in this net. They're in this net, and it's the devil's net. He did catch them, but look at what's holding them together now. It's themselves. I hate to make it sound like we choose toxic energy, but we do choose toxic energy. We choose the life that we live. I know that's hard to fathom, but as somebody who came from like an extremely unsupportive environment, I can tell you, I can be a role model for how much we can change, how many choices we can decide to make differently. We can't change the past, we can only move forward. If there's an energy that you're stuck in, Scorpio, if there's something right now that's making you feel uncomfortable or you feel like it's toxic, I want you to understand you have the power to leave that. If it's a job, I guarantee there are other jobs for you out there. I really do. And I don't want you to correlate a job with your success, a title with your success, okay? Because success isn't measured by like, how good you do at your job. Success is measured by like, at the end of the day, when you come home, do you feel good about yourself or not? If you have a really hard job, like, you know, a lot of us, we get in these jobs, right? And then we stay with those jobs for a long time with the hopes of getting a promotion. Imagine you've been at this job for like 7 years and you finally got that promotion. And like the whole entire time you were just thinking like, wow, when I get this promotion, I'll have more money. I'll have more status. I'll have more responsibility. People will need me. You know, I'll be important. And then you get that promotion and you're a supervisor. And now you're supervising all the people that you used to be. And you know every aspect of the job, so of course you're going to do the job really, really well. But it's not the same, you know? The job isn't the job you signed on for. And the job that you've been doing for 7 years, I would assume that you like it a little bit, right? But now you have to be in charge of all the other people, which means that that still is your responsibility, and those people are still your responsibility, and your responsibilities are your responsibilities, and you were your own responsibility. I mean, it could be really quickly it would like really quickly get to the point where you could see that this isn't the environment for you. But you work so hard. How do you turn down something that you worked hard for? It's actually not that hard. You just say like, look, I really appreciate this experience and I'm so glad I got to grow in this company. It's just that I didn't grow in the direction I thought that I would. And now I want something else. I do recommend, Scorpio, unless you have a lot of PTO or you have like a lot of like savings, to find something else before you transition out. But you can change jobs. You really can. And if you believe strongly that you can't because of the time that you put there, then that's a belief we have to look at. There's, you know, I feel like we tend to romanticize our work, our jobs, right? We have to be loyal. We have to be good. Don't rock the boat. We might get fired. Please, that job needs you way more than you need them. Look, if you've been in that position for 7 years before you got your promotion, who can they hire that knows more than you? No one. They have to hire from within and then train again. They need you. But jobs and bosses don't always act like that. But you'd be surprised how badly they would be missing you if you left. So you can switch jobs. If you have a relationship that you're in that's making you feel like it's toxic, you can get out of that relationship too. A lot of people tend to put on their best face, right? When we first meet people, we're never getting who they actually are. That takes time. That takes effort. You have to dig into who they are to get to know them better. If you meet somebody and they're just like, oh my God, I'm so nice and nothing bad ever happens to me. Red flag. Really red flag. Be very careful about that. Or if you meet people and they say, oh, there's never been anything wrong with me. It's only been my exes. They're all crazy. Super big red flag there too. But let's say everything's normal. Let's just say, you know, they treat you fine. They're not mean. Like maybe once you got into an argument and you were just like, that didn't go very well. We'll work on that in the future. But then you don't get into an argument for a while. And then all of a sudden you're dating. And then you're married. And things start to change. And they get mean. They look at you and they can't see who you are. They can only see who they expect you to be. And in that situation, even if you decided to change, you wouldn't be able to. People change, relationships change, needs change, wants change, desires change. If there's a reason you feel like you can't get out of this energy, my email address is in the box below. We should talk about it. Because those are systems of beliefs, habits, daily habits. The reason that we're here right now to look at these habits, we learn as we grow, especially through trauma, that to survive, we have to give and give and give. Learning self-love is about changing, redirecting those habits, so we're also getting back. This is not an energy of getting back. And this is whatever this is, you're going to have to let go of it. If you're here watching tarot videos, then I believe that you would believe in a soul. If you believe in souls, then you believe in spiritual ascension, which I would hope. Or maybe you haven't decided yet. That's fine. But I am not my body. I am what exists in here. When my body deteriorates, I will still be me and just somewhere else. This devil energy, if you don't get rid of it, you won't be able to ascend. Because literally, this is you being stuck. You're stuck. Your soul will not be able to move on. If this is the lesson that you have to learn, maybe in the King of Cups, you know what's in your heart now. You do. You think, I know that I deserve respect and loyalty, and I don't deserve to be fighting all the time. And you have this passion. I deserve it. Now you just need to make a plan to get out of this devil energy. I think that's what your King of Swords is about. And if this Three of Swords is something that you're going through, showcase that. Show people that. Yeah, dude, I was dealing with the devil, but beat him down. I'm Scorpio. I'm like, oh, what? And the next time they come up against the devil, they're going to be like, Scorpio did it. I can do it too. And that way we're role models. Yeah. So something that Spirit wants you to acknowledge is the Queen of Swords. I don't do relationship readings. However, this kind of does look to me like a third-party situation because you have the King of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, and this devil energy. I'm not saying it is. This could just be about work, whatever resonates with you, Scorpio. But the Queen of Swords to me is somebody who is fair and somebody who's balanced, somebody who waits to make decisions, somebody who doesn't live in reactive energy. Reactive energy is, you go with the flow. We're water signs. I don't know about Scorpio so much, but I know that I would rather not deal with things. I really just wouldn't. I'd rather just go with the flow. Let them lead where they're going to lead, and then we'll deal with it when we get there. And that's what the Queen of Swords is. She's not the kind of energy to beat somebody down. She's not the kind of energy to, you know, argue with people. She would never argue with somebody. She would never call you names. She would never be violent towards you in any way. One, she's a queen, but two, she's the Queen of Swords. It follows that she also is emotionally stable. And because of her stability, because she's a queen and because she operates from the inside with that feminine energy, she's willing to listen and hear you out. Let's get a message from Spirit before we start to clarify. The Magician. I told you, Scorpio, you can change. You can change anything. The Magician, he uses this drum here to tap into the vibration of the universe. And look, he literally reshapes the stars, okay? If there is a reason you can't get out of this energy, there is no reason you can't get out of this energy. You have the power. It's not really magic, but it kind of is, because you're a co-creator for your reality. Isn't it? Like, doesn't that make sense? There's a devil energy here. You have the intelligence, you have the desire, and you have the passion to get away from it. Desire, passion, intelligence. Okay. Oh, also, desire, passion, intelligence, and magic. Okay? This Magician could get you out of there. This Magician could make his choice about what he wants and then remove himself from the situation. You were that Magician, Scorpio. Okay, let's clarify, because I'm already over time. I try to make it like 15 minutes for the breakdown and then 15 minutes for the clarification, and I always end up at 40-minute videos. I don't know why. Probably because I talk so much. I'm really sorry. Okay, so we said right now you're in this King of Cups energy, Scorpio. Creativity. I like that. Okay? You had gone inside. You know what's in your heart. And also, so you're smart, you have bravery, you have desire, and you're magic, but you also have creativity. What more do you need? Integration. Yeah. So maybe right now, all of these aspects of yourselves are parts of yourself that you know about, but you haven't integrated them all together. I'm in love. Oh, I have this passion. Oh, I love it. I'm so smart. Like, you know these aspects of yourself, you just haven't put them together yet. Have you ever heard that song, If You're Going Through Hell? Okay. So in the priority, what we want is this Prince of Wands, right? This passion to move forward. If you have anger, anger is an emotion. I do not recommend living in your emotions. However, as someone who used a lot of anger and spite to get out of an unsupportive, unhelpful, early environment when I was growing up, anger can motivate you. It can. You have to be careful, though, with your anger. Because while you think you're angry at other people, you're poisoning yourself. And I know that from personal experience. So if you're going to use this anger, use it as a motivator. Tap out, like use it just, you know, like a NAS, like a turbo. Punch through whatever it is, get through whatever it is, and then let it go. Otherwise, what ends up happening, it's really scary, is actually all that anger that's been forced back inside of you for years and years and years, it explodes out and it sends you flying in a completely different direction. And if you have too much, and if you're not aware of how much you're using, you're going to fly past what it is you want. It also happened to me. And then you get to this far distant place and you're like, where the fuck am I? And the universe is like, you brought yourself here. And you're like, I didn't mean to do that. And the universe is like, well, this is where you are now. So you're gonna have to figure something else out. Yeah, psychic development. Okay, Scorpio, I think what's happening here is that as you come in contact with more of these aspects of yourself, as you start to integrate them, So integrating this energy or this desire, this passion, this intelligence, you're going to start to develop your psychic abilities. Now, I don't necessarily believe in mind reading. You can't just like look into my brain and be like, oh, I know everything you're thinking. Because one, stay out. That's rude. And two, whatever, that doesn't exist. But I believe that your psychic ability is your ability to listen to your intuition. Our lives are built so much so to entice us to pay attention to what's outside of us, that we forget often about what's going on inside of us, or we don't have the capacity to deal with it if we're an earth sign. just jokes, sort of, not really. But the more we listen to ourselves, the more we stop focusing on what's outside of ourselves, start focusing on inside of ourselves, we're going to get into better contact with our intuition. And once we start really start listening and understanding our intuition, I believe that's our psychic abilities. Your intuition can tell you so much. Let's look at this King of Swords. Abundance, right? So I have this working theory that our ability to connect with ourselves is also connected to our ability to gain physical abundance, material abundance. It's a working theory. It needs time. But if you integrate all these aspects of yourself, it allows you to be who you are more. And the more of who you are, the closer you are to your purpose. The closer you are to your purpose, the more rewards you get from the universe. So it's entirely possible that I am right. I just have no experience with that, so I'm not really sure. If you've had experience with that, please leave a comment in the box below. I would love to hear about that. Stripping illusions. All right. I think in the past, Scorpio, you didn't really believe in yourself. I really think that, because you have this sorrow, which leads me to believe that you're sad. When we're sad, we have lower self-esteem. And when we're lower self-esteem, it's harder to get out of traps like this. But what I'm seeing here now is that you are learning that you have the desire, you have the passion, you have the intelligence, you have the creativity, and you have the magic. If you didn't know about the magic part first, well, this is me telling you now. So once you start integrating all of these parts of yourself, you're going to realize that this whole entire time you might not have been who you thought that you were, and that's totally fine. That's that growth. That's that spiritual ascension. That's beautiful. Let's see. Okay, so in the being more authentic with yourself, you have this sorrow. If you're feeling sorrow, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling worried, let it out. It's okay. If people around you are not supportive, well, that's not your energy, Scorpio. You don't need that. Letting go. Yeah. Go ahead and let go of the sorrow, this Three of Swords, whatever's making you sad, okay? Because the universe says, even if the sorrow is coming from this devil energy, you don't need to be stuck there. You have everything you need. I don't want you to be sad. I want you to let go. I don't want you to be unhappy or angry. I don't like that. I mean, all of your emotions are valid and they are part of your experience. However, not everything that you feel is true. Isn't that nutty? Isn't that weird? Like, okay, here's an example. You walk into a room and there's people in the room, but it's quiet, and you feel that like weird tension. You could think to yourself, you could feel, oh, somebody was just talking about me. But your feelings could be wrong, because they could have just been making out and they don't want you to know. Our feelings are not necessarily indicative of what is actually going on around us. However, your feelings are valid. That's why you have them. If you let them out, other people get to see them and use that as an example. The universe is weird. It's got a lot of like not double rules, but like, what is that one? Double jeopardy, right? Like, it's like that. It's like, oh, well, if you try me for killing somebody, that doesn't really matter if I kill them this time or next time, because you already tried me. There's all these really weird rules, but then there's like these silly loopholes, and like, if you don't know, how do you know? Let go, right? We said embrace this feeling of sadness. If this is true for you, embrace it, because it's going to bring you joy. Okay. I don't know if you watch that movie Inside Out. Highly recommend it, but it's all about how emotions have jobs. When the blue emotion, joy, keeps getting in, or I'm sorry, the green emotion, joy, keeps getting in the way of the sad blue emotion, the little girl just gets more and more frustrated. When she's finally able to be sad, she can deal with the fact that she's sad, she moved away, and now she can embrace the fact that she's moved somewhere new and she can make new friends. I really do recommend that movie. If you haven't seen it, Soul is also a very good movie, and it just confirms the fact that I already knew that I am not my body. I am whatever is going on up in here. I like that movie too. Also, if you're down for a movie list, I highly, highly recommend What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. Don't watch it if you're already like in a sad place, because the beginning is really dark. It's, well, you know, the whole movie's really dark, but it gives you like it gave me at a very early age, I don't know if it's an accurate representation, but it did instill in me these ideas of what I feel about death and the soul. Although I'm a Pisces and I internalize things really weird, and I was like 16, so, you know, who knows? But I highly recommend those. Let's see, this devil energy, okay? Spirit says, gotta move away from this devil energy. It's gonna be a struggle, yeah. That's true, though. The devil doesn't want to lose you. I don't know if this is true, but I did hear from like some Catholic person one time, at the end of the world, God and the devil are going to sit back and compare how many souls each one of them have, and then whoever wins gets to be in charge. So the devil doesn't want to lose you. He doesn't want to let you go. He needs that soul. But do you want the devil to have your soul? Whew. No, thank you. People used to joke all the time like, oh, I'll sell my soul to the devil to be a good skateboarder, and I'm just like, I'll just trap my soul inside. Devil comes right now, I'm not sharing with him. I would never give my soul to the devil. Even if souls aren't real. And if souls were real, the reason I wouldn't give my soul to the devil is because it's mine. And I'm like a jealous person. I want what's mine. Get away from me. Okay. Omens. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing hawks everywhere. I even saw a bald eagle the other day. That motherfucker was huge and gorgeous. It was crazy. I was right outside of Arkansas, and I was just like, look, oh my God. People there apparently see them all the time because no one cared, but I was crazed, okay? So they're omens. If there's signs you're seeing in your life, pay attention to them. That's the universe pushing. We said to be in this Queen of Swords energy, okay? Masculine energy. The Queen of Swords is fair and balanced. She's not going to hurt people. She's not seeking revenge. She is a good listener. But this masculine energy over the Queen of Swords is the King of Swords, having the emotional intelligence to go after what you want. Duality. Understanding, Scorpio, that you're not a loser, that you're not a failure, that you didn't do anything wrong. If you're in this devil energy, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. The devil has literally been around since the beginning of the world, and he has learned all kinds of tricks to fuck us over. Sorry, but he has. They say, and this is something I think about all the time, the devil never comes to you in, you know, with a bright red cape and horns and a pitchfork. He comes to you disguised as everything you've ever wanted. How do you say no to that? If you came from a place where you weren't supported or given anything, or if you weren't cherished or you weren't paid attention to, then any kind of positive interaction can feel amazing. And it's not your fault that like, you know, confuses your senses. I was in a cult once. Oh my God, did I ever tell you about that? But I didn't. And you know how it happened? That little girl was super nice to me. And because she was super nice to me, I went with her to her meeting. And then 6 months later, oh my God, they're trying to tell me that I can't have anything, actually. That I'm not allowed to hang out with people outside the church, that I'm not allowed to date outside the church. If I ever try to decide to get married, that God will reject me if I marry someone who's not from this church. And then I was like, have you ever read the Bible? Do you know how that works? Because God goes before you. There's no way that he isn't where I'm headed. So, again, I had to practice discernment, okay? You have to be careful with people. You have to be careful with yourself. You're very important. And the devil has found ways to trick you. If you feel like you're in this devil energy, don't be ashamed. Understand that good things have to come into our lives, and that bad things also have to come into our lives. They each give us an opportunity to learn a lesson. When we encounter bad situations, there are red flags. I'm really sorry, that's the cat. I'm going to let him out as soon as I finish with you. If you are learning negative lessons, or if you're going through negative experiences, it's because there are lessons you need to learn that you're not picking up. It's entirely possible that you go through the lesson and you're like, oh, poor pitiful me, look how bad that happened. That wasn't the lesson. The lesson was those red flags. Because when we come to the situation next time, we want to be able to spot those red flags. The universe is giving you lessons and then a test. So let's say you get out of this devil energy. Let's say this is just really, 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 really a toxic relationship with somebody who like puts you down. you know that they weren't like that in the beginning. And so the next relationship that you get into, you're going to vet these people a lot more harshly. You're going to like really, you know, really put time and focus into seeing how they're going to treat you when things aren't well. That's super important. We all deserve to be loved, and not respecting somebody, not trusting somebody, putting somebody down, those aren't love. Those aren't things you do to people that you love. And so if you want to be loved, you have to look for love, not look for somebody who's just willing to accept you the way that you are. Sorry. And by that, I mean that, like, a lot of us have, like, negative self-concepts. We all kind of think that, you know, we're not good enough in certain ways. And for somebody to come along and say, yeah, you're not good enough, but you're good enough for me. I am great the way that I am. I am not perfect. I am flawed, but I am amazing. And I deserve to be treated as such. I will not be your, like, lapdog. I won't be your, like, chained to the porch bitch or whatever you think. Like, that's not how this is going to work. You deserve love. You deserve to be loved and to receive love. That's what this whole thing is about. If you're in this devil energy, that's not love. But you're the magician. You can get out of this. I fully believe in you. Past, present, and future, right? Okay. So this magician, it goes over the magician card. And the past, present, future card is definitely my card of habits. How do you give away your power? How did you end up in this devil energy? These are thoughts that you need to think about because they lead back to habits. Your thoughts become habits. Your beliefs become thoughts, and your thoughts become habits, and your habits become patterns, and that becomes your way of life. Rewind it back. If you believe that you can't get out of this energy, why do you believe that? And has that affected you in the past? How will that continue to affect you in the future? Is this the life you want to live, Scorpio? That's what I'm asking. That's why we work on our habits. That's why we watch these tarot videos or go to therapy or see a psychologist so that we can redirect those habits that we have so that we're constantly getting back as well. I don't know if you know about the 2 cups, but we can talk about that just really quickly because I only have a few minutes left. Let's say that I have a cup and I fill this cup with my emotions or your emotions, and you also have a cup. You come home at the end of the long day and I say, oh, hey, honey, how was your day? And I pour into your cup. I give you some of my emotions. I give you some of my emotional energy because I care about you, because I want to know what happened to you. And you say, oh, work was so stressful, blah, 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 blah. And then you say, hey, babe, how was your day? And you pour a little bit back into my cup. And now we both have something to drink. But if you come at the end of the day and I go, hey, babe, how was your day? And I give you a little bit of my drink and you go, blah, 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 I'm going to bed. Well, you didn't pour back into me at all. And now my cup is empty. So while you have something to drink, I don't. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not give and take. I mean, okay, not obviously every single day. Like, your partner can come home one day and be in a good mood and be like, hey, how are you, baby? I love you, blah, 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 blah. And then come home the next day like, I'm going to bed. But you have to, for yourself, decide how empty or how full your cup is. If you're constantly giving and you have an empty cup, eventually you won't have anything to give. If you're constantly receiving and your cup is pouring over, you're probably not giving enough back. Past, present, and future is about our habits. I'm really sorry, but this is all going to come through in divine timing, okay? You're in this energy now. I mean, right now you feel like the King of Cups, and that's great, but you are in this devil energy. And so your understanding of this will only come to fruition when you realize where you are. That might only happen in divine timing. Like an incident. Something will come up and you'll be like, nope, not for me anymore. That's how you know. There's your sign. Okay. Just to recap really quickly, Scorpio, you're in this King of Cups energy. You know what's in your heart. The universe is telling you to prioritize this Prince of Wands energy, this passion, to bring this passion into your life. The universe also said to prioritize more of this King of Swords energy, which tells me that you are emotionally mature, that you have a lot of desire, and that you're intelligent. But for whatever the reason, you happen to be stuck in this devil energy. This could be, habits that we've built. that tell you that that's somewhere that you need to be, or tell you that you can't leave that position. My email address is in the box below. We should talk about our beliefs, because beliefs are really important. But, here's the huge but, Scorpio. You're stuck, but you are emotionally mature, you have desire, and you're intelligent, and the universe says you're a magician. You have the ability and the power to get out of this spot. You just need to believe in yourself. I know you can do it. I don't think it helped, but if it did, let me know. And if you need more help, again, my email address is in the box below. Try to have a good day, Scorpio.